Welcome everybody. In tonight's video, we'll be looking at my first products that were sent in by a company to review. Oak&Derby gets first place here. Oak&Derby is a custom leather craft maker on Etsy. You can also find them on Instagram and YouTube, Oak&Derby. Very high quality looking stuff here. This is good leather. It's coated well and everything. Got these two free scraps in with them. Love them. I'll put those to good use for something I know for sure. But let's review the two products here real quick. I'll try to do individual reviews on these later. Already they've gotten patina because I've already had to try, stuffing some things into them and getting ready for this video. What will fit, and what won't fit. So you go to his Etsy page and he has like 4 to 6 products going around, at least the last time I saw. One of these is this Scout Carry belt holster for a large knife. Very nice. The other is this little 2-pocket slip. Very nice. It's kind of thick on the back, but I personally like that. Kind of dampens the feel of the knife or tools that you're carrying against your pockets, against you. So let's start off with what will probably be carried the most by me, this little slip here. Starting off with a QSP Penguin. Fresh leather always sticks the most. You have to break it in a little bit. But it holds the QSP Penguin quite well. Very nice. Also holds my Olight i3T EOS. Very nice, very nice. I think it's going to take some time. It's already, just having the i3 in there has already loosened it up to where the i5R can fit. But now you're kind of starting to stretch the leather, and I'm not sure I want to go that far just yet. We'll be sticking with the i3T in this pouch. I do like how it changes the color of the leather just from stretching. That's fine with me. It gives it character. Holds my leather or copper Rough Rider Apta. Very good knife. I recommend getting one of these from SMKW. It's heavy, but it patinas nicely and goes with the leather nicely. Holds an Opinel number 6 very nicely. Holds the Rat model number 2 very well. Not quite there for a Victorinox that's really thick, so maybe hold off on that. The Benchmade Weekender fits in there very nicely. I'm going to be going into more reviews of pros and cons of these things as we get into it, so just please bear with me. Your average 3-inch bladed knife can fit. Sorry, Mr. Oak&Derby, for immediately pushing this stuff into the leather. But I do kind of want to see what all it can do and what will fit, what won't fit. But your average, kind of large pocket knife, a little too large for this. Just bear that in mind when you're buying these. But for most of what I'm going to be carrying, the Weekender, the Penguin, the Rat, this, maybe a knick-knack or two, those will all fit nicely in this pouch, and that'll go in my pocket very nicely. I'm going to love this as this gets well used and softens up even more. So I'm looking forward to how this turns out. Already, we've got these little spots and stress marks. I love it like that. I love leather because of that. Let's get into this little belt loop here. Scout Carry side holster here, and I like the little curved in portions, and I'll show you why. Because usually with these things, you need a lanyard to pull out the knife. But with having the open end here, you can just reach in and pull out the knife. No lanyard needed. If you like having a lanyard on your knife, go for it, but you don't need it. And the knife that I'm using here is the Land 9104 Very good knife. It's a little bit smaller than a Chris Reeve Sabinza, but it gives you that Sabinza vibe, and you don't feel bad about banging it up in the woods because it's only like $30-some compared to $500. A knife I'm probably going to carry a lot, the SRM 9201, fits in there very well. I have a lanyard on this one, of course, but easy in, easy out. Oak&Derby number 9 goes in there very nicely. This one I would maybe keep tabs of as you carry it through the day because that may or may not fall out. It's snug, but it's not that snug. How about... No, that looks a little too big. Victorinox Swiss tool, too big. Swiss tool Spirit, maybe. Swiss tool, no. Bug out, yes. So, and also just a little side tidbit here that doesn't pertain to this, but I just kind of came up with it today. If you always need a little electrical tape on hand, not a lot, but just a little bit, wrap it a little bit around your bit driver here. This is the Leatherman ratcheting bit extender, and just wrap some electrical tape around that, and yeah, you've got yourself enough to do a handful of wires if you're doing some wire work around the house or something. So keep that in mind. This is kind of handy. Just a fun little tidbit there. Does that fit down here? It should. Yep. Perfect. Multi-tool, real quick. I mean, obviously the free is a little too chunky to go in that. Free, too chunky to really go down in there. It's not really for multi-tools, it's for pocket knives, and usually like collector style pocket knives. I would say, you know, like the Copper Rough Rider Apta. Very good little knife there. And it just gives you some flair. And also keeps your knife. Why should you consider getting a slip like this? Well, if you're the front pocket kind of person with these knives, you know these things don't always sit the way you want. They're always right side up, left side over, right side down. You know, to get one of these slips, when you put that in your pocket, it will keep that very much straight up without a lot of side to side, and you kind of pull that out easier than trying to find it in the middle of all your change and stuff like that. So, having done this crash course of what fits, what doesn't, right off the bat, and it's time to go into what I think is good, what I think is bad. I'll start right off. I don't think anything on either of these is bad. I think they're all on the very positive side. So, starting off with this, I like how it's just one solid piece of leather in the back. Some of you, I could see where you maybe want to have this cut out right here in the middle, so you can put that like smack square on the back of your pants for like real true scout carry across the back of your pants, because you always got that one belt loop going down the back middle of your pants. I could see that. But having this a little off to the side, to your main hand side, I think is going to be better in a lot of senses. And, I mean, it holds the knives quite well. Now, I'm sure over time, as the leather softens and gets used to the knives that you carry, you know, it may, you know, loosen up. I wouldn't fret about the leather pinching on this right off the bat from what you just saw me trying to get this in, because this is a very tight clip. Not all knives are that tight, but, you know, that may be something to consider. Maybe a little bit stiffer, maybe not thicker, but a little bit stiffer leather to withstand a pocket clip, perhaps. Just a thought. Not a downsider by any means. Just maybe consider. I love that it's open-ended here on the back. You can just push that right out, get the rest of the knife out. Love it. I think this is worth it. And they are a little pricey, but just dealing with this, it smells good. Smells great. Smells like an old leather shop. Smells phenomenal. Brings back some memories of some leather shops I've been in the past as a kid growing up. They're sturdy. I know they'll soften up over time, but like, they're good. They're well made. I love the thread. personally love how good that thread is. The one thing I would maybe consider with this Oak&Derby, if you're watching this, is I see that you've measured this off pretty much to the inch. That's fine, or ½ inch here. But as you maybe saw when I was stuffing some common knives in here, is that the knives are starting to go over the top of the product. So I know you're trying to conserve leather. I know leather ain't cheap. I've made some leather stuff myself. I understand how it is to work with leather to an extent. But this is coming in at 1, 2, 3, 4.5 inches long. I would consider doing a 5-inch piece, because if we look at some of these knives, like to take the Benchmade Weekender, new popular knife, it is kind of sticking over the edge here. I know these are too big. I'm not going to consider these. This is not fair of me to consider that. But let's just take like a standard Swiss Army knife that will go down, you know, most of the way and stay within the perimeter. That's fine. That's a good size for Swiss Army knives. Ontario Rat Model 2, right there at the top. And that's just kind of an aesthetic choice. It's not a function choice. Or aesthetic opinion. It's not a function opinion. Like, it holds these knives very well. Holds the APTA stupendously. Fantastic. Nothing to change there. But I would consider, I'm not saying downside at any point. I love this thing. I'm going to carry it. I'm going to use it. But something just to consider for future products that you make. Maybe make them a ½ inch longer, because, you know, common knives that people would probably want to put in this are kind of sticking over, like the QSP Penguin and the Benchmade Bug Out. Two of the more common knives in the EDC world. Bear that in mind. Just saying. If you don't do anything to change the product, that's fine. I love it as it is. I think many people will love this. But if you're looking for something to possibly change, on this one product here, I would maybe just add ½ inch. Just a suggestion. So, with that said, I am not downing these products any at all. I love both of them. I will be carrying at least this very regularly, because I carry I wear cargo pants. I'm going to have a knife and a flashlight tucked down in this almost all the time. So, I love these products. Go look up Oak&Derby on Etsy, YouTube, and Instagram. And look for these leather products. He's also doing reviews on some EDC gear. Go give him a like and a follow. Maybe consider buying a couple of his products for him. I was lucky enough for him to give these to me to review and keep. So thank you very much for that. I will, you know, I think I'm going to really enjoy carrying this once I get into the swing of it. Like, I've got it set up now, and it's going to take some time to kind of rotate around. But once I get into this, I'm going to be into this. This is already, when I shut this camera off, it's going in my pocket. So, with that said, I hope you found this video useful. Hope you found it informational. Hope it helps you build your EDC to your standards. And until the next time, a farewell, a carry well, and a bye-bye.